occurred. Oh, okay. I think we're live. Okay. Amazing. Yay! So, I feel like, no. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So I've lost Lyra. She has a little bit of internet issues, but welcome, and she's going to be arriving back any second now. So welcome. I am Ashley Sunshine. I am a yoga teacher and yoga teacher trainer and a New Earth healer and light worker, and I'm also a sacred business coach. So I help women and men to feel and understand their soul purpose or their dharma, and then step into this world with their gifts out on their sleeves and making their offerings to the world and making great money doing it. So this is my passion and my drive and what I'm so excited about. And I have upcoming in the next couple weeks, starting a 9-month mastermind program for women in business. It's a global community where we are diving deep into our own soul codes. We will establish our sacred business in an etheric temple, just like the priestesses used to serve our ancient temples. We are the modern day priestesses, and our businesses are our initiations. And we really get to have our sacred businesses be a coupling between our divine feminine, right? Our intuition, our ease, our nurturing, our inspiration, and our divine masculine, which is our goal-oriented, results-driven, structured, and organized part of ourselves. And in our modern day way of seeing business, we really focus on the masculine, where everything's all about goals and structure, and we're missing kind of the fun and the ease and the lifestyle that goes with it. And we're kind of letting go of the idea of like, one day I'll retire and then my life will be good, and saying like, if I could just be free and do whatever I want right now, what would I do? And the beautiful thing is, as humans, our dharma is to be of service. So if we really allow ourselves to be at ease and be at peace with our lives and the world, then we're automatically, naturally going to want to be of service. And so this is what our sacred business is all about. It's like when we're in a place of ease, when our hearts are open and our minds are calm, what do we want to bring to the world? And each one of us came to this lifetime with gifts, with abilities, with heirlooms that we inherit from our ancestors. And this is one of the big reasons why I'm so excited that Lyra Bluestone, formerly known as Stephanie Lynn, will be joining me, hopefully in a moment, to talk about her path of ancestral healing and why it's so important in not only overcoming the wounds that we carry from our ancestors. So some of us came from like very rich royalty ancestors, but maybe that was traumatizing and made us feel that having lots of money is like actually, it creates bad relationships, or it makes everybody want to steal from us, or it makes, problems in the family. Or maybe we came from ancestors that were working class and really poor, and it makes us feel that if we want to achieve anything, we need to work hard, we need to break our backs, we need to sweat blood and tears in order to make money and make a difference in this world. And there was a study that came out recently where they tested mice. So it's horrible that they do this kind of testing on animals, but I guess it also helps, because there was a experiment where they would give a small shock to mice at the same time that they released a cherry blossom smell. So every time the mice would smell a cherry blossom smell, they would get a small shock. So as you can probably conclude, they became slowly afraid of the smell. And it turned out that the next generation, this mice children, were also afraid of the smell, even though they didn't receive the shock with the smell. Now, this same trait carried on to the next generation in this study. So the grandchildren of the mice who got the shock were still afraid of the cherry blossom smell, even though their parents didn't get the shock and they didn't get the shock, right? So this is basically proof that we carry in our DNA the wounds and the gifts of our ancestors. And by tapping into this bridge, that has brought us to this lifetime after generations that that carry us on their backs, figuratively and literally, when we visit that lineage, we have an amazing opportunity to heal wounds that hold us back from sacred success. And we have an opportunity to receive the gifts, the heirlooms from our lineage. Okay, so this is a reason why I am bringing on Lyra as a guest mentor of Sacred Business Codes, which is our 9-month deep dive into your sacred business, where we have monthly channelings and monthly masterminds, as well as learning modules and one-on-one coaching with me interspersed throughout, where we get to dive into not only, your business model, your business plan, what are the gifts that you want to bring, but we also get to dive into healing your ancestral wounds, healing wounds from the past life to receive the gift, because probably if you're watching this, you have also had past lives that you've been through initiations. You've been in the ancient priestess temples. You've been through, the witch hunts, or, various persecution throughout the ages for your abilities, for your knowledge, for your gifts. And you have learned so much in those past lives that you don't realize. But a lot of the training that we're doing has actually already been done. Right? A lot of the training that we think we need in order to have a successful business has already been done by our ancestors and in our past lives. And some of the work that we need to do is just receiving them, is just uncovering them, like peeling off the layers of conditioning that would tell us that, we need this and this and this and this and this in order to succeed. But my motto and my theory and my, teaching is that we're already successful right here, right now. We have within us a blueprint of well-being, and we have within us the blueprint of the master, right? Our inner master. And we can peel off the layers in order to access that inner master. I'm just going to check in. And if you're here live, so there are a few people here live. So if you're here live, I want to invite you to write in the comments, connect with us on the YouTube live chat, and just tell us where you're tuning in from. And if you do have a sacred business, like what is your business? What are you in business? And if you're on the replay as well, let us know in the chat. Okay, so all right. So Lyra, formerly known as Stephanie Lynn, Lyra Bluestone, she lived in Israel, and that's when I met her, when we lived in Israel, and she was one of the first participants in the Goddess Moon Circle Tel Aviv. So 6 years ago, we began moon circles in Tel Aviv, and Lyra came to the very first one. And from there, we became friends, colleagues. We co-created the first Red Tent retreat with a few other amazing women that live in Israel. And we really felt the deep calling to co-create heaven on earth. I really always looked up to Lyra as a New Earth businesswoman. She was a life coach. She is a life coach, and she is trained in family constellations and inner child work, past life regression, and other amazing modalities. She's a Reiki practitioner. And I really always looked up to her as kind of this woman who is out there to serve humanity. She's out there to help awaken the sleeping ones who know that there's a little bit more to life than what we might perceive. She was definitely a trailblazer for me to say, oh my God, like I could make great money being a coach. I could make great money actually doing what I love day to day, and instead of kind of giving my life energy away to doing things that just don't feed my soul. So I really thank her and honor her for that kind of activation that she gave me those many years ago. And we've been through, quite a journey together. We've been through ups and downs, ins and outs. We got really, really close and had, some deep energy clearings between us, sisterhood wounds healed in, easy ways and in very difficult ways as well. And it's amazing because we always come back full circle, and we always come back into that sisterhood connection and that collective support. And I was so honored that she actually joined the last round of Sacred Business Codes. And, I got an opportunity to help amplify and uplift her as a businesswoman and as a wayshower and a healer and a light worker, and also gather together in a collective of women that are supportive and doing the same thing. I also am so honored that after completing the first round of Sacred Business Codes, she will be a guest mentor in the second round, where she really brings in that ancestral key. And it's cool because she comes from Chinese American ancestry, and that is a difficult one, where there's very different ways of approaching life and society from the Chinese perspective that her parents knew as real and right, versus kind of the New York American way of looking at things, which is very different, which is also fine and right in its own way. And so she really had to play that dance throughout her entire life of like ancestry versus modern reality. And she is a bridger of that. She really dedicated her life to being a bridge between the way that things were done versus, the way that things should be done in the new earth. So let's see if she'll be joining us. She lives in Hawaii, and there was a few storms coming through lately. She just said, and the power is out. So that's probably why. Okay, so we'll see if she joins us over the next, I really hope she does, because it's going to be a really powerful interview. And if we don't get to do it today, then we definitely will in the next coming days. And it's so funny because I also had technical difficulties with the last interview, which is now up and live. So you can see my interview with Hila Dekel, and we go into past life healing and also into why it's really important to heal our energy body in order to be successful in our businesses. And also we touch on how to know what your life's purpose is, how to know what your dharma is, which is so, so important and powerful to know and to realize. When so many people are walking around this earth not sure about their dharma, their purpose, what they're doing here on this planet, they're searching for that purpose. And so really, this is a great place to start. Like if you feel a desire to have a purpose, then this is the first step towards exiting the matrix, manifesting unity, and co-creating heaven on earth, which is the calling of this day and age. All right. tomorrow morning, I will be sharing a masterclass on creating transformational curriculums. And on Thursday morning, I've been called, so I'm also an emissary of Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary living here in Israel. I had a very clear calling a couple years ago that I was meant to at least have a base in Israel so that I could transmit the Magdalene codes from Israel through also my online work and also through inviting women from around the world to Israel to walk a path of Magdalene. And I know that I'm going to receive, and I am receiving locations for this path. And one of them has come through already, and I've been there and channeled an amazing tool from the Magdalene. And maybe I'll share it with you since I'm here and I'm live. And yeah. So I've found one location. It's not that far from my house. So I will be going there on Thursday morning to transmit. Okay, she's coming. She's coming. She's coming. To transmit a masterclass on creating women's circles. So 6.5 years ago, 6 years ago, I began creating women's circles in Tel Aviv. And it was not something I planned on doing. It was something that just kind of fell into my lap. And I had already been teaching yoga and teaching meditation. So I felt, ready to create this circle. And I did, and Lyra joined and some other amazing women, and it was really successful. And so I opened a group on Facebook called the Goddess Moon Circle, and now it's called the Goddess Moon Temple. Ah, she's here. She's here. She's here. And I feel, just before she gets on, I feel that it's so important that women all around the world are starting and running women's circles, not only because we need the sisterhood back again, but because it's a great way to gather community and to create yourself a platform to which to share your deeper gifts and transformational journeys that you can offer. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, there she is.
Have you been live this whole time? What you been doing?
Yeah, I introduced you and I told a little bit about our story. Yeah, and I also just riffed on sacred business codes and women's circles and all that good stuff. So we're good, and we're excited.
Awesome. Okay, we're prepped.
Yes.
I started making a shake. I thought the internet wasn't coming back on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a shake. The power's out across the street, and then the internet went back on. So Here we are. It's been crazy storming, everyone, on this island of Big Island that I'm on. So power outages, internet issues.
Yeah, and we're in full trust that everything is accurate and that it's all good, and the angels of technology are with us now.
Yes.
Amazing. So I introduced you, but I'd love just for you to give a little introduction of yourself, kind of just tell us a little bit about you, what you like, whatever you feel called to share, what you do, what you're all about.
Okay. Wow. January 7th, 2021. Who am I today? No, wait, it's December 7th. Holy shit.
I was like,
wow.
1 year ago.
Oh my God. December 7th, 2021. This is what time is doing these days. It's really crazy. Well, I am a multi-dimensional being like all of you. I'm here really to be a part of this new earth that we're creating. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And to have fun. And, in order to have fun in this physical vessel, there's, some cleaning up to do. given, for me, the time I was born, the place I was born, the blood lineage I was born into, and also my soul purpose, like what I came here to do. And I was talking to a friend and client yesterday about one of Teal Swan's practices that I heard from her like 8 years ago, which is take some of the hardest, most challenging moments and times in your life, moments of trauma perhaps, and find that core vibration of the trauma, and then go to the polar opposite of that, the polar opposite positive vibration. And there you can find your soul purpose, because we come into a world of duality where we have to experience the contrast. So if we can find like, the negative vibration of those core wounds, and we project it out to the opposite, we'll find our path. Like, this is where we're going. This is what we want to realize. And we often do that through those contrasting experiences. So, yeah.
Wow, I love that. Would you be open to sharing with us about your, like, one of yours?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, um,
Oh, we lost her. Oh, we lost her. Dang, that was gonna be good. Well, that's a great question for you guys, is what is a difficult moment that you've passed in your life? Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Oh, good. Here, she's back.
yeah, next time I'll also try to sign on my phone. Maybe it'll be better. I think one of my core ones is like a feeling of deep aloneness, isolation. Like, yeah, that's what the first thing that comes to me. And I notice in my ceremonies that I've done with working with ayahuasca, whenever I go to that point of like the blackness, the void, like kind of about to go through like the death thing, that's the feeling I get. Like, it's very cold and it's very scary. Like, those are the vibrations that are moving through me. So I can really feel like what I'm transmuting, in this lifetime. And it's always very physical. Like, I can feel it in my physical body. I can feel what it does to my breath, like kind of stopping my breath, like freezing my breath, freezing the body. So if I go to the opposite, like extract out to the opposite vibration of that. And I remember Teal saying it's not necessarily like a mind thing, like, okay, loneliness, then duh, it's like community and connection. Like, you kind of want to check in and make sure like that's really what the vibration is. So I'm just going to tune in. I think for me, to go to the opposite would be like a sense of oneness, a sense of wholeness, a sense of like, it's like the relaxation that comes when all parts of myself feel connected to everything around me. Like, it doesn't have to be necessarily people in my environment, but if they're in my environment, then yes, people too, but also like the animals, the plants, the water, just that oneness feeling.
Amazing. And how does that oneness feeling transfer like into the work that you do, or into the manifesto, or the goal vision that you carry with your clients or with your work in the world?
It's a good question. I think that because that's the vibration that I'm cultivating in myself, when I work with people, it's like that's kind of the vibration that I cast out, like to hold the space. And I think that's what equalizes everything, and what makes people feel safe. because there's not this like fear of being rejected or excluded because of something that happened to them in the past, or a pain that they're manifesting currently. You know, it's like, okay, in this space, like everything is welcome. And I think that's why I tend to work with a lot of people who need that vibration in order to bring forth some of the pains that have been hidden for a long time. A lot of people come to me who haven't really worked through some of the traumatic things that have happened to them in the past. And, you know, by soul agreement, you know, we come together, and then I think it's because of the vibrational space of acceptance that like they can open up that place that they've been too scared to open up, you know, by themselves, you know.
Yeah. Wow. So by creating a space of oneness, of unity, of acceptance, of like the relaxation that one feels when all is connected and nothing is rejected, then one has the freedom and like the deeper ability to look at those fears or those traumas or those blockages that they have in their field.
Yeah.
And then so just talk me through it then, like what, you know, what happens for them when they're able to do that?
It's like a release happens that they have been holding for so long. Because when we have those events that we're not able to process, so one definition of trauma I heard is distress without resolution. So when there's distress, but it can't be completed, it can't be resolved, we create something, we hold our breath, hold like a blockage, like hold the way our body moves even, which is why like you've probably seen when people start doing yoga and they start moving their bodies in patterns that are their sacred geometry, like our bodies like are beautiful, like perfect, like, you know, like it's equal, like each side is equal. So when we do yoga postures, it's balancing us, it's bringing us back to that harmony. So you probably notice when people start putting themselves into those positions that now their spine is starting to equalize, their weight on like each side is starting to equalize. That's something different because maybe like 20 years ago, certain things happened and like things got frozen, you know, and not completed. And now the body is starting, it manifests that way. And then we know dis-ease is also a result of that imbalance. So you said what happens? The first thing that came to me is like a release of that distress that could not be expressed at the time. There was no one to hold them in that state of distress. So now, here and now, you know, their body can do that, and their inner child, you know, can do that, and something starts to like loosen up and open up.
And then, yeah, that's beautiful. And I really resonate with that because yes, people start moving their bodies. You know, when we all start moving our bodies, we feel the release and we feel a balance start to happen, and a certain kind of inner peace or a certain kind of acceptance. Like even for me in the last few days, I've been feeling really like low energy. I just came back from the States, jet lagged. And this morning I finally felt good enough to do like a full invigorating yoga practice. And after doing it, you know, like a lot of stuff just clicked back into place, and I feel like I'm in my power, and I feel like I'm more settled in my body. And I really found also like a new, like a sense of love and respect for my body that I was kind of missing in the last couple weeks from all the traveling and everything. So yeah, this like love and respect for our body and this love for ourself, right? Like clearing out and coming into that balance helps us to do that. And then how does that reflect in the way that we show up to the world and the way we create our life? Like, what have you seen in your clients, or what is your vision for your clients once they kind of go through that balance and they realign themselves to who they truly are, let's say? How does that affect how they show up in the world? And then how does that affect the world at large?
Well, I think it's almost obvious that when we feel better, like everything gets better. Like we feel better.
When we feel better, everything gets better. And so really our priority should be feeling good, right? Our priority for this lifetime, for this world, should be feeling good. I hope she'll pop back in a second. Come on, angels of technology, be with us. If you're viewing, tell us where you're tuning in from. I'd be so happy to connect with you. And oh, okay, she's gone. All right, she'll probably be back in a moment. I want really to lead us into, like when we feel better, what happens in the way we show up to the world? And then how does the world then change? Like, imagine a world where everybody's feeling good already. It kind of feels crazy, right? To think about. Oh, yay.
So I was saying that when we feel better, right?
Yeah. Come on, angels of internet. Hear my plea. Bless this YouTube live stream. And help us to reach the people in an unglitchified way. Yeah, you back.
Goodness, cool. I was like just humming and like, oh, I guess we're all just having a moment to let the information settle into our bodies. We'll see what happens. Okay, we're here.
Yep.
So, I mean, have you guys had the experience where like you're not feeling great for a couple days and then something shifts, like either, like you have the energy to do yoga again, or maybe you like talk with a friend or have some sort of release, or even like the galactic energy shifts, and then you're just in a state where you feel much better, and then like the lens that you're looking at the world, like how you're creating, how you're interacting with people, just feels so much lighter. And so I think that's basically what we're learning to master, is like to make our energy state more of a smooth, state that we actually manage better. And I feel like that the degree to which we get thrown off by different things is just what old material is showing up. That's like, hey, like, like I just went through like a crazy airport and like it's like something gets like frazzled a bit. And then it takes a little bit of time for that part to like be comforted and come back into wholeness, to come back to the body. So I feel like that's the process a lot of us are in, like a lot of people with the roller coaster.
Energy roller coaster.
Energy roller coaster. So I see it as light, that there's a lot of photonic light that's coming in, and our sun is also changing. And it's just,
Do 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 do.
so I was saying that if you want to get more like scientific almost about like what's actually happening with our ascension journey right now, it's that the position of Earth in the galaxy is moving, and it's moving now more into alignment with the central sun. And that means light is coming in a different way to illuminate. And so it literally is like we're entering a new phase, we're entering a new cycle where the vibration is becoming like this. And eventually, after many, many thousands of years, it's going to go back, to like this. But since we're always evolving, the next dark age is still going to be different. It's going to be different than what we've seen before, but we are moving in to a new golden age. And so as we do this, like if we chose to come down at this particular time, then we are clearing out first the remnants of what we experienced in the last dark age, So clear out, clear out, clear out, and now taking in these new codes. And there's a lot of adjusting that's happening to our systems. Like my cat 3 days ago, we were house sitting. So we've been in this house for like 3 or 4 weeks, but it's a huge change than what we've been in before. Then there's galactic, like the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. And one day I looked at her and she was like tilting, like off balance. Like it was really, really strange. I was like, what's happening with her? Like she was off balance, And I talked to a sister who's also like a galactic Lyran light being, among many other things. And she was just like intuitively like, cats are super duper sensitive to vibration. And I think that she's just adjusting to something. And sure enough, like 24 hours later, she started to move back into balance. And now she's like back, but it was really freaky. It was really, really freaky. And this is happening to us too, So we're supporting each other, like with love.
Boy, I really want to hear what she's saying. Yay!
Love. Should we just keep doing this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe we should. I like have so many things I want to ask you, and I want to hear everything you're saying. And now you're frozen again. I think the answer is no. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that the technology angels would like us to continue this at a different hour when the power is back and the internet is back on Big Island where Stephanie is living, Lyra is living, Stephanie Lyra. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this live stream and just say that Steph, Lyra has. I'm gonna close it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to say while I'm here with you and with everyone else, Can I share about sacred business codes?
Yeah.
Okay, like sacred business codes, I went through the past 6 months. This is going to be a 9-month container, but it's just a powerful temple of activation and of love and of community. So if any of you are like called to it, I highly recommend. And you can talk to me too. And with Ashley. And I know all of you drawn to this are all priestesses and all like just amazing human beings. And I'm just so excited. And I just want to share like my love and appreciation for you, Ashley, and for all of you who, are going to be entering this next round. And send my blessings and love. And like I can't wait to connect with all of you more.
Wow. Thank you so much. That means the world to me, especially coming from you. And I just honor and admire you so much. And thank you for, yeah, being a part of my pilot and being a part of the first round, and then also being so willing to be a mentor for the second round. It's absolutely perfect. And I'm so honored and excited. I think you're frozen again. But we're going to go ahead and reschedule this interview so that it's really, easy and powerful. And I'm so excited because I know Lyra has so much to say and so much to share. And I just want to dig her brain and get everything out. So we'll find a better time to do that. And in the meanwhile, sending you all who's here so much love. And if you're interested in sacred business codes, check out the landing page, ashleysunshine.com/SBC 2022. And I love you so much. Many blessings and big hugs.